Welcome to the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Welcome to ITSP Magazine Podcast Radio. You're about to listen to an episode of Through the TechVine. So be quiet, pay attention, and get inspired. There is one truth that is not told enough. Technology is not magic, but it can be magical. Technology is human. It is part of who we are, our evolution, our future. Will it be a dystopian or utopian one? Well, that is up to us and nobody else. Knowledge is power, now more than ever. Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net.
Well, believe it or not, it is episode 24, and this time I actually counted. I was very embarrassed last time. I was like, hey, everybody, join, it's 22nd again. For the second time. No, so this is 24th, for real.
All right, we'll go with 24 today.
Yeah,
Right.
At least that's what I said. It's the night before Christmas, the 24th. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were talking about right before going live, about Christmas tree and decoration, and how apparently people are very excited about a festivity this year, and they want to go back to some kind of normal. We'll see what that looks like, and but at least we get to
slung on the windows with very little carrots.
Somebody has been posting about listening to Christmas music, and actually, I think it was who was it? I can't remember. I'll think about it. And I said, nothing wrong with that. I listen to Christmas music during the summer, so it's whatever you make of it. If you want to listen to Halloween and when it's February, that's cool with me as well.
Yeah, well, it's always the season. Or if you're a Hallmark Channel fan, I mean, I think that they're going to get to a state where it's just all Christmas romance movies, like 365. So,
all year long, always Christmas.
Exactly. Yeah, it's always Christmas. Maybe
Yeah.
a little Thanksgiving thrown in, but.
We all look forward to the festivity, and of course we need to respect different festivity. Not everybody, of course, enjoy the holiday that is the Christmas, but every culture has their own holiday. And you know what? If it makes you happy, why not? It's like your birthday. Want to celebrate your non-birthday? Go for it.
Well, and I think actually in the tech vein of the Vine, I think if you look at most of the holidays that occur right around this time, they're some kind of a festival of lights, right? Diwali is
Yes.
a festival of lights. We celebrate with the menorah and the lights, and the oil lasting for 8 nights and 8 nights. But then Christmas lights, it's all ultimately we kind of go back to in a lot of these celebrations, the lights. And I think it's because human beings aren't fans of the dark. So we like technology that brings us light and that we celebrate it.
There is something very, very magical about that.
Yeah.
No questions about it. Imagine when people used to look at the sky just because there was no TV and there was no lighting pollution, and they could see the stars the way that we certainly can't see today. I mean, you can try. I remember, Sean, you remember when we were chasing the last comet that came around? You were trying to get pictures, and I remember you got some good ones too, because you were actually in an area with not much light. But it was very difficult. We had to drive all the way up on the mountains in order to even try to see it, and then luckily we did see it. But
So we had to escape technology to enjoy reality.
Yes.
I love that.
And then you busted out some technology to capture the moment.
Of course, I had to pull out. Well, it's a picture or it didn't happen. That's how it is.
That's right. It's all for
You got a decent shot too with the phone.
I did it with a phone, and I got extremely lucky. I was getting frustrated because I was up in the mountain towards the Wilson Observatory. I was like, if it's good for an observatory, it got to be good for me to look at the comet and the stars. But we stopped on the street, and of course, it was one of the last weekend that it was kind of visible. And once in a while, a car will drive by with the lights, so it would ruin my long exposure. And then I was about to give up. I took another shot, and then I look at the screen, and it was like, holy shit, I got it.
Hey.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoy it very much. And tonight, I know for the people listening live, it is tonight, but for those listening to the podcast in the day to come, they may, hopefully they could have seen it. There is the lunar eclipse tonight. Apparently one that happened, it didn't happen for 500 years, something like that, because it's a full moon.
I remember that one.
Yeah, remember that? I know. We were looking at it together.
Just children at the time, of course.
You were young at the time. You were only like, 300 years old or something?
Exactly.
But anyway, remember this. Tonight, I think it's visible from a lot of places. I think on the East Coast it's start about 2 a.m. And it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be almost a full eclipse, 97% eclipse. So hopefully no clouds, and you get to enjoy it.
Very cool. Might have to.
Are you going to be out looking at it with your astronaut dog?
My astronaut dog, yeah. I still have to share that picture. Astro dog. She really loved that costume. I think it was a success.
It suited her, and we're going to make an NFT out of her and her costume, right?
Absolutely. Astro dogs for sale. We'll do pictures and GIF and NFTs.
There you go.
We got to work about that. The Through the TechVine collection. We'll see.
I like it.
Let's put our creative ads on. Let's see what will come up. I say we do it.
Yeah. I got plenty of pets that we could dress up in many different outfits.
Let's mint them.
I'm petless now, so I have to borrow one of yours, Diana. One of yours, Marco.
That's cool. Sean? I know he's petless now, but I'm sure you'll work on it really soon. But give it the right time. Yeah. It's and I'll give you one of mine. We got 3, so.
I'm sure that'll go over well in the household.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I found myself with them, and they become your kids, and I love them. So definitely.
Do the pets
NFTs.
Like the lunar eclipse? That's what I want to know.
Hopefully they'll howl quite a bit. If they like it, they'll howl it.
So have you ever tried to get your dogs to howl? Like to have them sing the song of their tribe?
One of my dog, the one that everybody can see in the profile, the one I call the coyote, she owl. If I owl, she owl back. Oh, she's very, very talkative. The other bark. Nice. They hear her owl and they'll join barking, but they don't howl the other one. I think it's part of whatever breed she is.
Yeah, we had a part husky, and she was a howler. Yeah,
those are talkative.
She was a singer. I mean, she had a whole. I mean, it was what would to uneducated ears might sound off key, but she was really quite a singer. And of our 2 dogs who are litter mates, so you might think that they would have the same kind of howling desires or capabilities, but one of them, Nora, will not howl at all. But Nick, if you play this on YouTube, that this will make your dog howl, he starts to howl. Although he gets very confused, he'll howl a bit. We howl with him, and then he looks around like, "Did I do something wrong? Is that the right thing?"
If you get the right pitch, I remember with the harmonic, that you could play some notes, and that will really kick into their ears and kind of make them howl. So it's the call of the wild.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this show, even if we're back to. I gotta be honest. I use all the friends that I had, so no more guests. I'm alone again. I sound like a I sound like a band from the 80s, but yeah, alone again on my own.
Alone again.
All
And
alone
Sean and
again.
I don't have friends except
Yeah,
for you.
you're my only friend, so that's why I invite you.
That
And
well went dry very quickly.
no. I gotta say that I checked with the one that joined us before, and they all had a good time, and they're ready to come back. But so we may have some repeat soon, and maybe some special episode.
Yeah, I was thinking about literally, honestly, thinking about maybe there might be some friends to join us. I don't know. Expand the horizons a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who knows?
everybody
Let's do it.
can topics.
Yeah.
Do you want to be part of it? Just drop a line on social media and let us know, and we'll work it out. I mean, I love to do this so much that I wouldn't even mind if we were going to do it twice a week, as long as there is people that enjoy what we do and we don't just talk to ourselves. But I looked at the number; it's interesting. It's growing, and there is definitely many people that look at our little avatar blinking like it's happening right now, and the one that listens to the podcast when it's done. So it's our job to keep it interesting and to always bring something new. So I was thinking maybe we do a little recap of what we talked about the episode before, so that people know where we come from. Sean, you go. No. Mr. No.
I'm gonna miss not introducing the guest.
There you go. We got a dog.
I
There
know.
you
I'm
go.
not sure. I'll mute if he continues to
It's okay. I
have
don't
an
care.
opinion.
I don't care. So
There's our
Sean, you
guest.
was that?
I said, "There's our guest." Nick,
Oh,
Nick
yeah.
will bark for us.
I can always bring a dog. That's not a problem. Man's best friend, or woman best friend, or dog's best friend too. So yeah, I was thinking, what we talked about last time. Do you remember?
No.
I remember because I wrote it down. I wrote it down.
You got to write it.
I got to write it. Exactly. Thanks a lot.
I just remember blobs of reconstituted chicken being cooked with lasers.
Oh yeah.
I had.
When I was writing the title, I avoided that. I said robots cooking with lasers because that old blurb thing, it wasn't really appealing. It kind of killed my appetite.
Pink slime.
Pink slime. Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that little game,
the
the slime?
for that, and I couldn't find pink slime or green.
Yeah, they don't do that. It's too disgusting even for an emoji. But yeah, that's one of the things when we talked about. We talk about possible future and hope of pain therapies. That's what you spoke about, Diana. Yeah. And then there was the history of transistor radio. The guest was Keenan Skelly, so we ended up talking about music. Mm-hmm. And
I came across some antique transistor radios. I sent you a few pictures.
You did.
Nice.
You did. They were actually quite nice.
Yeah, they were really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Except that transistor, actually, the little one. That's what they used to call the transistor one.
Yeah.
Those that you sent me, they were probably like 1940s, 1950s, made of wood.
Yeah, these were.
Oh, I have one of those.
Yeah.
For my grandparents, I still have it upstairs, stored away.
Yeah, does it work?
I don't think so. I haven't checked recently, but it is one of those gorgeous wooden, came in a big wooden case, and people would sort of sit around it like it was a fire.
It was
to FDR probably.
It was compare the old radio to the fireplace. People would sit around it. Some people will sing, tell story, read books, and spend time together. And then the TV came up, and that became a little less conversational, I guess.
Yeah.
You just take your attention a lot more.
I'm trying to listen to the radio.
And now we don't even. Now we don't even watch the TV, right? We're watching multi screens. People are watching the TV and also looking at their screens while they're in the same room together.
I can't multitask like that.
No, yeah,
No.
I'm not very good at it either. But I think maybe it's the Zoomers. I think might be really good at it.
Now
I don't know why
imagine
it
our
popped into
old
my head,
brains.
but sitting on the edge of your seat, that popped in my head. Does anything do that to us anymore, or are we just numb to?
like a
Ooh.
movie, like a nail
Yeah.
biter or a good sport event. That's what you mean.
Mm.
I don't know. I think there is a lot of people that are still extremely passionate about sport, and they
Yeah.
probably do sit on the edge of the seat. I don't know about a movie that make you sit at the edge of the seat though. Can't think of one.
Yeah, it's a good question. Do we interact with movies differently because we've had so many big scares, and so if you think about those early movies when people really were on the edge of their seats, the early horror movies with jump scares that were new, or seeing the Wicked Witch in color for the first time. And maybe we're just used to that, so maybe it's about sports because you never know what's going to happen there.
So you think, Sean, it's because we are used to it, so we don't we know that is.
Yeah, I was just picturing people in the 40s sitting around an old radio, and I have one from Europe, and it actually has European bands on it, so you can tune into things from different European states.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately brought a vision or a visual of people sitting around listening to status of the war, and that would put you on the edge of your seat for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I think we talked about it once, or at least I have talked about it with the famous the War of the World that from H.G. Wells that Orson Welles did, and people were really freaking out because it was for Halloween night, and they didn't know that unless they turned it on at the beginning when he said this is a dramatization of this book. It was so well done, and it was kind of close to when the things started to happen for the Second World War, that people were like really ready for something really bad to happen, and they thought it was real. So they were really on. I don't even know if they were sitting. I think they were standing and running at that point.
So has anything ever kept you guys on the edge of your seat or scared you enough to... I ran out of a movie because I was so scared. And it was Fantasia.
Wait, what? Huh?
I was in third grade.
It
was the music. And it was very loud. I was in third grade, and it was a field trip, and I was just overwhelmed. I don't know. Mickey overwhelmed me, and I ran out screaming.
Wait, the only one that could have really scared you was I think it was called Night on Mount Baldy, which is the one with all the monster coming out. So maybe that was that segment.
I guess I'm easily overwhelmed. But so how about you guys? Like, what's ever kept you on that? Scared you or edge of your seat?
I don't watch horror movies. I just can't. I don't like it. But there are some that cross the line. I remember the first time that I saw the Silence of the Lamb.
Oh yeah.
An Alien, the first Alien. I remember I was, that
coming out of the stomach.
Yep. Yeah, I may have jumped at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I might have screamed.
Chainsaw Massacre. There you go.
Oh. Now, were these in the theaters where you guys were seeing them, or at home? Do you think it's scarier in the theater? I think it's scarier.
You think it's scarier? I think it's less scarier for me because I'd be like around people. And I don't know. No, this one I'm talking.
Feed off the energy of other people being scared, though.
That's true.
That's true.
That's totally true. The crowd affecting you.
Go with the wave.
Yeah.
Like everybody scream, you're like, okay, I'm going to scream too.
Because it must be funny, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You scream when they scream. Oh, I'm supposed to scream here.
This must be the time.
Hey, there is a reason why they play the laugh in the sitcom.
That's right.
That's true.
To let you know that it was funny, and a lot of people laugh because of that, and you get so used to it that you don't even realize that they're doing that. But if you look back at many probably that you were looking when you were younger, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I never realized that there was the laugh track under this, and there was.
Cueing us along subconsciously.
The music does that, right? I mean, the music help you on the score to make you feel like scared, or I mean, think about movie like Hitchcock, and that sound, that music, that sound effect, that it's a scary thing, or when.
Have you ever rewatched? So, like, we just caught Vertigo again a couple of weeks ago, and some of the scores in the Hitchcock movies went from effective, I think, to like melodramatic, like especially in Vertigo. There's like, da-na-na-na-na-na, when Jimmy Stewart, he can't make it up the bell tower, and it's like, and the music just overwhelming. It almost borders on the comedic, I think.
Like a little too much.
Yeah. Is that
A little too
heresy to
hard,
say
maybe.
that? But
Yeah.
maybe a different time, it didn't have that same impact. But now it feels a little like, wow, that's some intense score that's going on.
You gotta put it in the context.
Yeah, it could have been of the time.
Yep. Yeah, stuff that make you laugh maybe at the time doesn't make you laugh now, and stuff that scare you at the time, it doesn't make you scared now. So
Yeah.
cool. Well, I definitely want to do some going back and rewatch some classic movies that even some I actually haven't watched. As a teenager, I was like, nah, that's old stuff, I'm not gonna watch it. And now maybe I understand that there is so much value, a cultural value, into watching something that, and really contextualize it in the time that it was done. That's very important.
Did you ever have a movie that was so built up in your head you were almost afraid to watch it? Like for
Again?
me,
Or
no, just to watch it at all. For me, it was like Casablanca was one of those movies where I'd heard so much about it. It was such a, it was so classic. Also, Citizen Kane. I mean, I almost was frightened when I started those movies. I see, I'm frightened again. But I was like, what am I going to see? Will I be able to absorb this? And is this going to change my life? Because they get so, and then they're amazing movies, but they're movies.
But you were not blown away.
Well, I mean, Casablanca's good. Citizens Kane's good. Yeah, not blown away. I don't think by either of them.
I have never
obviously they're
seen
great.
Casablanca. I never seen Casablanca, so I can't judge.
Okay, well that's your assignment. Then you got to go watch Casablanca and tell us if you're just completely blown away. But I mean, it's good. It's a fantastic movie. It's not like when I watched Fight Club for the first time, or when I watched Blade Runner for the first time, I just was like, whoa, my world feels like it's kind of fundamentally changed. And I just didn't feel that with Casablanca. But I realized I'm going to get some hate mail after that. So.
No, I don't think so. I mean, again, it's a matter of the time and the context that you look at it.
Yeah.
I remember I was blown away, if you want to talk about that, and then we can talk about some tech news, but I'm kind of diving into tech right now, is when I watched The Matrix, the first Matrix, and that was in the movie theater. I remember I was with a bunch of friends. I was in Florence. We walked out and we just couldn't stop talking about it. Right. I mean, trying to understand what was going on and the scenes and the cinematography and it's right there. So in a way, did I see it again a few times, but maybe I don't want to watch it again, although now there is the new one coming out. So I'm definitely going to watch that one. But that original one, that feeling that I had, I don't want to ruin it. It's kind of like, what's too good.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was so So I have rewatched most of the movies that really had a big impact on me at first, and they hold up. I mean, it's kind of great to just go back and synthesize it again as you've advanced in your life, or Blade Runner, for example, because it was supposedly 2019. So
I know.
To think about what we thought in whatever it was 1984, what we thought 2019 was going to look like, and what it actually looked like, which is kind of cool. But I mean, like I found that almost every movie that I really loved, just going back, if anything, it's better because you're not surprised by it. You're able to, so you can pick up all these, especially like a movie like Fight Club, where they've got all these breadcrumbs through it to show you that the narrator, and sorry, spoiler alert for anybody, everybody knows that, that the narrator, Ed Norton and Brad Pitt are the same person. It's just a split personality, and it's very carefully done in the movie, so you can appreciate these details that maybe as you watch something the first time through, you don't pick up those kind of really nice nuances that the filmmakers have done.
Yeah.
Crap. No, I can't watch it.
You're in it for, another one that was about actually makes me think about what you just said, the Usual Suspect.
Yes.
Right? Where it just kind of like at the end, it all makes sense. But then if you look at it again, you're like, oh, Kaiser Soze. Yeah.
Yeah, when he starts going around that room, the camera starts panning and you're like, oh, it's all Kevin Spacey. So
Sean, now you can't watch that either.
Sorry. You're ruining a bunch of stuff for me.
Is there one that you want to bring into the conversation that you can ruin it for us?
In general, no, I'm just thinking some that play out backwards, some that I find some those interesting where they're in the head and they're portraying it physically in the physical world, and it's really just a mental thing. So you're not really watching what's going on. You're just watching somebody thinking about what's going on. But they're not always done well. I can't remember all of them. But,
you need a good script right there.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, if you play...
What I don't like for movies is when it's a long movie, it's dragging on an hour and a half, and it's very complicated, and you have to follow along, and it appears to me that at the very end, they're like, damn it, we only have 10 minutes to wrap this up. Let's explain everything with some narration, right? I mean, let's talk through everything that just happened the last hour and a half and help people understand. That always upsets me.
Yeah, when you have to wait too long.
Earlier stuff, yeah.
When you have to wait too long, something's wrong. Like, cut my attention right away. I never trust when they're like, no, keep watching it. It'll get better. I'm like, if I'm not into it in the first 10, 15 minutes, it's going to be really, really hard to get into it.
Or it does feel like they kind of just added extra time. I mean, I've noticed this I really love the way that we've changed visual storytelling with the serials on the streaming services, because now you don't have to decide between a movie or a long movie or maybe a mini series. Like you can do a 10 episode arc and that could be the one thing and you're done, like Squid Game, right? It's like that. I guess now it's so popular, they're going to do a season 2, but it was only going to be that one season. But sometimes I think that people are telling stories and the streaming service will say, well, we need 10 episodes. And they come back with, yeah, that's fine, we got it. But it was really clear when you're watching it that they had maybe 7 episodes and the rest of it is just kind of filler. So each episode starts to feel a little bit flabby. I actually really liked if you guys have seen Schmigadoon, which is actually the name of the show. What? You did see it, Marco?
No, I was like, okay. What? What's up with that?
Schmigadoon is with Cecily Strong and Keegan-Michael Key, and they get trapped in a 1940s musical.
I gotta watch it.
They're modern doctors, and they get trapped in this 1940s musical, and it's pretty. And he hates musicals. She actually likes musicals. He hates them. So it's pretty hilarious. And of course, those 2 actors are hilarious. Oh. They have great supporting cast. Fred Armisen's in it, and Kristen Chenoweth. Anyway, it's 6 episodes, 6 half-hour episodes. And I kind of love that the people that created it said, this is our story. It's really clear. It's really tight. Each episode is really tight. And they're like, we got 6 episodes for you, and that's it. Instead of...
And you can binge out of it and watch them all.
Sure. It's a 3-hour movie.
That's good. Yeah. I love musicals, so you got my attention there. So yeah, please share with me. I wanna check it out.
Schmigadoon. It's on Apple TV.
All right, I'll find it. Yeah. So should we keep talking about movies or?
I don't know. Is this through the movie Vine
We're
now?
like 30 minutes in, and it's one of those episodes that we didn't plan, that we don't talk about tech. You know what? Let's talk about tech. Let's do
Okay,
that. Let's
let's
keep
do
it short, maybe.
What do we do?
Let's get
Very
it.
quick, right to the money.
Okay. All right. So, do you guys recognize "Set Me on Fire"? It's a music lyric,
I know Light My Fire from the Doors.
right? No.
Nope.
So it's
It's a newer band, right?
not that new. It's from the 80s. If like, na 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 na, I can't do anything. So like a really, really heavy drum beat, sort of aggressive. All right.
Set Me on Fire. I will look for it while you talk. Go for it.
Okay. So it's from this album called Atomizer, which is Big Black, and it came out in '86. And my favorite song on that album, and it was sort of like for me, it was like the soundtrack of that year for me. And anyway, the song I liked the most on it was Kerosene, and Set Me on Fire is from that. So that's why I have this as a, yes.
Okay.
That's it. And so you'll hear the drum coming in, Marco, if you keep listening.
Okay, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's some good stuff, but it was sort of the space I was in 1986.
Cool.
And
cool. I'm still there.
Yeah. So I've always liked kerosene. So when I saw this article on drop-in kerosene, I was like, all right, well, I got to read this. And it's a little bit similar to, so drop-in fuels are fuels that are biofuels that are made in a more environmentally friendly way, but can drop into the existing petroleum infrastructure. So when we talk about renewables, a lot of times we have to actually change how we absorb the energy and how we use the energy. An example is that a car, right? We go up to the pump, you fill it up with gasoline, but if you have an electric car, you have to go to a plug station and plug it in. But a drop-in fuel is a fuel that can be used in the place of the existing fuel, but it comes from a more eco-friendly place. And we had the other sort of intersection point that's interesting is that we had talked a few episodes ago about reclaiming water out of the air, because there's water in the air around us, and using that to help people in areas that don't have a lot of water to be able to have water that they can drink and cook with. So this one is interesting. It's a bunch of researchers in Zurich that are pulling not just the water out of the air, but also the carbon dioxide out of the air. And then they're using very high heat solar energy to process it. They're in Zurich, they're on a rooftop with their tests, and they use mirrors right now to pull in the extra high heat, process the CO2 and the water that they have brought out of the air through a lot of really complicated technology work that I won't go into. But after they do this, grab the CO2 and the water out of the air, use the high heat solar energy captured by mirrors, they create biokerosene. And that biokerosene can be used to keep planes in the air, because the aviation industry uses kerosene for commercial airlines. So we have a lot of this use. It's coming from petroleum. It's a fossil fuel. If we could just basically pull the kerosene out of the air, one thing, this article I read didn't go into it, but I was thinking, does that help us? Because we're always talking about carbon capture. Can we pull it out of the air so we're not using this heavy fossil fuel? Maybe we're making the air a little cleaner, and then we generate using solar biokerosene. And I think as from what I was reading, it also burns a lot cleaner. So kind of cool what's going on with scientists looking around us and examining the air and thinking, how could we use this air to make our lives better? Just recapturing the water, but now this group in Zurich with actually trying to make kerosene out of it. So, and keep our airplanes going. So when you think about when you're buying a ticket and maybe your travel site says, do you want to, get carbon credits for this trip? We could make that very real. Yes, because the fuel that's moving this plane came out of the air that we're flying through.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about the DAC, the DAC, which is the way that you recycle carbon dioxide, and it's the big thing now because you want to do the net zero, but can you reach that without intervention, right? And so one of the way to do that is to pretty much recycle the pollution that you create to create energy. So I think what you're talking about is exactly that. And the critics of it, from what I understand, they say, well, this is just a way to keep polluting, and kind of using it, and we just don't get better. And the real solution will be to just stop polluting, and that's very, very tough. But you're right. We talk about this, and at the end of the day, I say anything is welcome right now. Whatever it helps, I think is cool. I mean, why not reuse? It's like recycling the water after you do the irrigation. Yeah. Why not? You still save water. You still save from polluting the environment. So, and I think there are some art lines that are going much greener, and if I'm not wrong, they make you choose when you buy the ticket if you want to contribute to that or not. I mean, I know I've read something like that. So yes.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Marco. That it'd be wonderful to just be able to do everything at once and make the world a much greener, more eco-friendly place. But I think realistically, we're going to have to do some of these harm reduction measures on the path to being even greener. So drop-in biofuels could be a good bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to sail, and one of the resources that are precious when you're out in blue open water is fresh drinking water, and they make desalination devices that you can put on the boat to keep your water supply there when you're out for a long time. You don't have to carry a bunch of water with you. And I'm wondering, so as I was thinking about that as you were talking, Diana, and keeping planes in the air, I was thinking, well, is this something that could go on a plane and as it's flying suck up crap and create fuel that it can use as it goes, so it can kind of self-fuel? I don't know if the technology's to that point or not. Does it have to be ground-based, land-based production of this biokerosene, or could it be done on a plane? And does it have to be planes? I mean, do we switch other technologies? I'm thinking tractors and things like that. I don't know. They're using diesel, which is...
I think they're trying to do that. Exactly that.
Yeah. Yeah. They are. They're looking at like biomethanes, and I think it's just how they do the mixing of what. But kerosene was one of the more promising drop-in biofuels they could make. That was the big piece of this article and the paper that just got published, is that they're looking at the scalability. The researchers said that they think that it could be 0.5% of the Sahara Desert if you put a bunch of mirrors there, that you could accomplish generation of enough biokerosene for the commercial aviation industry for the year. But I mean, then there's the cost of the mirrors, and there's the time, because you're exactly right, Sean. I think that I forget how long it took, but it's not instantaneous. You'd need it to be incredibly rapid if you were going to have a plane out there, in the air. Like you have to have high confidence you can, create the fuel going on.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I mean, always scale. I think back to all the tech stuff that I've been involved with, mostly software. But it's always, there's always some limit that gets hit where it's good, it's really good, it's great, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
We built antivirus software. You can manage it over 100,000 machines, but that multinational that has 1 million, it just falls over. And it's always scale for me. Scale and performance. You talked about time as well, right? If you can't do it fast enough.
You know what? It's also psychology. And if we wait things to be perfect to do it, it's kind of like procrastination. We're never going to do it. It's like when we talk about the electric power coming from water the other day with the dam and other things, like you're always going to wait. I mean, the point is, even something little is going to help. The fact that it's not perfect, but it's somehow helping, it's kind of like going on a diet or going to the gym. Do something like every day, even if you don't have to work out for an hour once a week. Just work out 10 minutes every day, and you already made more than an hour in a week. It's kind of like the same thing. So it doesn't have to refuel the airplane it is going, but anything that produces heat, it's energy. You can convert it into energy. So power plants to any kind of manufacturing, any machine that moves produce heat. So
not saying it has to be perfect for us to move forward. Saying
too many excuses.
Steps, baby steps.
Too many excuses. What's your excuse, Sean? Goldilocks.
Goldilocks.
Are you talking about the Goldie?
Too hard, Marco. I'm not going to bother.
No.
So my story is the same but different.
Ooh.
The same but different. No, it's all about energy, and in this case, we're looking at heating and cooling of buildings and technology that can be used in place of windows where you don't care to see out, but you want the light to come in. So maybe it's skylights or parts of a building where somebody's not sitting at a desk or sitting on a couch and wanting to look out at the beautiful scenery. But the technology, and it's coming out of Duke University, they've created a mirrored glass that basically it's technology inside that, depending on the heat and the light, will change. Let me see, what's it called? It changes basically color or opacity. It's electrochromic, sorry. And it changes to allow light in, deflect light, black out things to help keep inside cool, let the good light in, blocking the bad light, to help keep things warm when it needs to. So the idea is, depending on the temperature inside and the lighting outside, these windows or these panels could help warm and or keep cool. So you don't have to rely on your heater or your air conditioner as much. And so this technology, and the reason I have gold in the name is, in order for them to get it to work, they've sandwiched some materials in this glass and mirror device. And the material that they put in there didn't quite work right. And they actually had to inject or put a layer of gold on top that would allow the electricity to move through this material without impacting its ability to change color and opacity and do what it's supposed to do in terms of letting in certain lights and blocking other rays and cooling and heating as it's supposed to. So seems pretty cool. Again, this kind of to the point of scale. It's a nice proof of concept. Hard to produce at scale, hard to get it in use at scale. And because it has, like I said in the beginning, has a mirror capability or functionality or attribute to it, it can be used in every window. So it's not solving every problem, but where it can, and skylights seem like the most obvious, where the sun, you want the light through a skylight, but that ray of light often heats something. Think about a big warehouse where you don't want a bunch of extra heat. That actually could help cool, not just melt stuff.
But did you say it cannot be transparent?
Yeah, I'm confused. Where's the mirror?
You don't see it. The mirror is on the outside, helping to deflect rays of light.
Okay.
Got it.
That would otherwise heat the inside.
Mm.
So it's letting the light in, blocking the rays that conduct heat, but then also, using the opacity and technology. People smarter than me figure this out. They can actually release the heat and keep things cool as well.
Yeah, can it change? Like, because I could like maybe because in certain times of the year you want in the cooler months you want the sun coming in, you want to get that solar gain in the right in the building. So, but then there are times when you want to deflect it. So could it change? Would it not be a mirror, or is the mirror? I don't know anything about optics. I'm wondering if is it always a mirror to passersby? Because this could be really cool in cities. Right, you've got, you don't necessarily want people looking in your window, but you might want to look out that window.
Yeah, and I don't know about the translucive properties in terms of looking out. I don't remember reading anything in here for that. It's mainly, I think it's mainly for light, not for viewing through.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so they did talk about using it on buildings.
But that's the key. You can turn it on and off accordingly to what the season is, and if you want them to be active or not.
So maybe
its primary purpose is for heating and cooling.
Yeah.
So replacing the devices that use fuel and electricity to heat and cool. These panels, which look like windows, can also be used to let a light in and things like that as well. So
right.
So okay, so it's really kind of like it's not a window technology in the sense that it's something that you look out of. It'd be more like a replacement for a wall, because now instead of the wall just being something that blocks your view and has a lot of insulation, you could be allowing heat in through that wall or deflecting heat from. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's not really substituting a window; it's substituting a wall.
Yeah, but I mean, it's true, because all we do with walls now, we have a net zero home, and basically our walls are kind of like thermos, the sides of a thermos. They're a foot thick, and they're super insulated inside. So this way, maybe it'd be like more, and it's just to keep whatever temperature is the same, like the way a thermos works. But this would be being able to use the passive solar without having to have so much insulation, and possibly even certainly in the cold months, maybe you wouldn't need to heat at all if you could allow the sun in, that low winter sun.
If you can capture the rays of the sun and the light to do the heating for you.
Yeah,
especially if you retain it. You kind of cut the use of like a solar panel at the time. You cut the middleman. You just use directly the wall.
Did they say the R value of it? I mean, I wonder if it does have to be insulated too. Did they say what the R value?
I don't remember any R value being mentioned.
Okay.
Here. No. I didn't read the whole paper. The paper may have details on that. But
I love how people are getting creative with things that we've been given as wall are always going to be walls. And now we are... we're reconsider, does it really just need to be a wall, or can it have a functionality that we didn't think about?
It's a smart wall.
Did
they call it a smart wall?
Or is a wall that does something else too? And if you think about it, even I don't think they did it on purpose when they had a choice, but like all tribes, that they will make walls in a certain way, maybe not, of course, using cement, but using argil or any kind of mud that they get and mix it with leaves and other stuff, and maybe other kind of natural material, because they realize that, hey, this retain the humidity, this is blocking more the heat because you're living in a place that is really hot, and maybe doing igloo when you do it with ice cubes, and it's kind of counterintuitive, but when you don't have anything else to play with, it's gonna have to do it. It does work, right? You make a hole under the snow, and you're gonna be warm. So getting creative with and not giving things for for unchangeable. We go back to, it's just one of those little things that you can do, and it's gonna, a piece at a time, make a difference.
Yeah.
And it's interesting you point out the mix of different things, because they had to actually find materials that are often at odds with each other in terms of being able to pass electricity through, but not in a way that impacts light and rays and other things to pass through as well. And so they had to actually find conductive materials that can change color and let light through, which were, if you think about it, based on this article, are at odds with each other. So they actually had to find things that you wouldn't normally expect to put together to make this work. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, that's science that advance, and we'll find a use for certain things, to do things that we didn't think it was going to be used for, like recycling the combustible as you eject it from a plane.
Go out of the air. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I don't think I have enough time for my story. I'm just going to tease it. Well, it's we talked about movies quite a bit. I mean, I could, but I'm going to suggest, because it's something I'm passionate about and is all over the news. NVIDIA just announced their Omniverse, and it's their alternative to the Metaverse that Facebook changed their name into with Meta. So everybody's talking about the Metaverse, the virtual world, and what are the opportunity there. And me being passionate about society, that's why I called. I put my name, The Other Societies, here, which I may even be misspelled as I was writing it. The thing is that it's happening, right? So there's no crash, there's Ready Player One, all this sci-fi world that we have been imagining. It's actually happening. You put the goggles on and you go live in a different metaverse. Now, right now,
Picture it didn't happen.
Well, you've seen pictures. You've seen Mark Zuckerberg showing the meeting rooms of people without legs. And there is a reason for that. It's because you're wearing goggles, so you can't really reproduce the movement of the legs unless you're wearing like a suit. And it will be really off, the movement of the legs compared with the movement of the head. But eventually, again, if you read, Ready Player One, you'll know they put complete suit to do what you see in the movie when they do special effects, so to see the limbs moving and stuff. But
why does it have to be a suit? Or can't we just inject the sensors
in the bones, in the blood? You could. That's an idea. I could, yeah. But you're fluorescent. You could do that. I'm sure some people will get that. Not the vaccine, but that they'll be okay with it.
Yeah. Well, it's gold-plated.
That makes all the difference.
Yeah, well, I think that the good thing is, if you want to get away from the world, the metaverse, you take your suit off and you're okay. If you inject it in your blood, you're always there. So that'd be a thin line between utopia and dystopia. What if you can never leave the metaverse?
Oh.
What I want to talk about, and again, I'm going to bring it back next time, is the economic consequence of all of this. And we talked about NFTs at the beginning. I just did an episode about artificial intelligence creating art and then being sold as NFTs. And there is so many people now putting, minting their art or collectible items and so forth, and sell it on website out there like OpenSeas, that is very, very well known, one of the first out there for collectionists and creators. But there are industries, and there was an article that I just read this morning where, think about the fashion industry, where people that go as themselves in the metaverse, they are actually buying signature clothes to wear in the metaverse. because we are projecting our, our society and interaction with other people there. So, there are companies that are making steps to move in, like designers, because people want to play the video games or being seen in the metaverse wearing a look that they like. And the people are ready to pay a lot of money for a Gucci bag, per se, that they will buy in the real world, and they also want to wear in the virtual one. And that's pretty big. I'd like to know quickly what you think about this whole commercialization and creating an alternative persona where you're actually spending real money to create that in the virtual world.
Sean started going, bleh. Just went on mute. Yeah, so I'm not a big into the designer stuff. I like quality clothes. I like cotton, which is a big thing for me. But paying a lot because it says Gucci on it, or because it says Alexander McQueen or something. I that's not my thing. So the idea of thinking about paying a lot for something like that in the metaverse is a little bit weird. On the other hand, look, it's already happening. It's already happening in these multiplayer games where you have to pay more to get, you get a prettier shirt, or you can get, it may not be designer, or you get a better hammer if there are hammers in that game. So I think people are already acquiring things in these games. So however anybody spends their money and what they want to spend it on is obviously A-okay. I just get a little concerned with people that maybe don't have a lot of extra money, getting kind of caught up in buying these things, thinking, oh, maybe I can sell my digital Gucci bag in the future. It's going to accumulate value, and then finding out that it doesn't actually have value. That makes me sad, thinking about people spending on things that may not have long value. But if they're spending on something because they want it and it gives them joy, then who cares if it's digital or physical? Like, grab that joy.
This is such a huge topic, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is, and I'm bringing it back.
The whole episode next time.
I'm bringing the whole episode on the metaverse because, like I said, I'm reading a lot about it. I think it's fascinating, and there is gaming application, of course, which, as you mentioned, it's already happening. There is the functionality of certain things, like you mentioned. You're playing a video games. You want a better, higher score defense shield versus. I mean, that's always been happening, and since the multiplayer games out there. But as people move their persona into the metaverse and they are actually seen, it's just not experiencing a museum or a Google Street or anything like that, but you're actually interacting with your friends. It's natural that you want to look in a certain way.
Wow,
and
cool.
I agree with you when you're saying, well, but on one case you're saying, I like to wear soft stuff because it feels good and I don't need the brand, but it's cold in the winter. I want it to be cozy. Yeah. And how do you apply that to the metaverse? Is it just an aesthetic attribute, or is it actually have a functionality for it? Like, you're buying shoes, you're like, okay, these are nice and they're also really good quality. Maybe I can wear them for 3 years, 4 years, instead of something that I pay less and maybe broke. So you make that kind of decision. Can you make that kind of decision and drop a lot of money, in the metaverse? So it's really intriguing when you think about a utopia, a dystopian vision of this. But it's happening.
So are we talking about a meta Thanksgiving then, next episode?
I think we're talking about a meta turkey.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so Sean, what's the plan? Because Thanksgiving, it's Thursday, and we're not going to go live on Thanksgiving.
Goggles.
So what are we going to do?
Get your goggles.
We're going to be a virtual Thanksgiving episode, which we record Tuesday.
We'll still entertain on Thanksgiving, but we'll be enjoying it as we're eating our stuffy. like everybody else.
All right.
It's the
So,
magic of
We'll have
technology.
something. We'll have something for everybody to enjoy.
so the
But
plan
don't
is
worry, we're not going to be working on Thanksgiving.
no. So, but the plan is that we go live recording on Tuesday instead of Thursday, same time, noon Pacific Standard Time, and then you guys can enjoy it anytime you want.
Be delicious.
On Thanksgiving.
It will be meta delicious. You can lick your goggles of how good that is.
Yes.
All right. Well, this was a little different. A lot of movie talking, and for the first time, we actually have a plan for next week. And who knows? Maybe we'll bring a
Little
friend.
change.
Sean, do you have a friend?
I have no friends.
Just walk in the middle of the street, grab somebody, give him a mic, and it's not too crazy, okay? Not too crazy.
All right. I'll keep it clean.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Nice.
All right.
Thanks for that pressure.
Go in Central Park. See who you find there.
There's a lot of people in your city, Sean.
Yeah.
Grab a goose from the lake.
Ooh. I'd be down
You want
for
a
that.
goose talking about a meta turkey? That could be interesting.
Metagoose.
A meta goose. There you go. All right, everybody. This
right.
was quite fun. At least I hope you had some fun and thought about some things. Maybe watch an old movie. Why not? Enjoy
That's good.
a classic. Whatever classic is for you. If that's Top Gun, do that. If it's Gone with the Wind, why not? Go with the wind.
And with that, I'll let this one go with the wind. Have a good week, everybody. Catch you next week.
See ya.
Music.
Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Through the TechVine podcast. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share itspmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.